Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Beyond the Outer Realm. We are broadcasting live on the United Public Radio Network 105.3 FM from the Gulf Coast, 107.7 FM from New Orleans. Today, going to be a good conversation. I love these. And I love when Lorilei Potvin joins me because we always have such amazing information and she's always much more prepared than I am with stuff. So this is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be talking about I guess the best way to put it is just dealing with the conspiracies, the mysteries, the curses, celebrity deaths, things like that. Are they, aren't they? It's stuff that keeps going around, and she and I got talking about it one day and said, "Wouldn't it just be fun, like, to just talk about it?" Like, I say, "Let's do it." I think this is gonna be a part 1 because as, we started talking and digging, it's just like, "Oh, boy, we could go in that direction for sure." So, anyway, without any further delay, my dear friend and special guest, Lorilei Potvin.
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm not more prepared than you, girl. You are like the
Oh, yeah,
most
you are.
walking encyclopedia I know. So thank you for
No,
having me.
no, no. No, no. I mean, with some things, yes, but other things, it's like, oh, you're winging stuff at me, Tim. Going, see right there. Why didn't I think of that? That's brilliant. That's brilliant. So it's one of those things. Oh, hi everybody.
Hi, everybody. Hi,
Hello, hello,
Victor.
hello, hello, hello.
Hi, Kevin. Hi.
Hello. I want to acknowledge everybody coming in. It's one of those things that seems to be surfacing a lot. Like it goes in waves. Right now, we're seeing like the Ron Joyce Elvis thing. I mean, it's everywhere right now again. And I'm thinking it's always been there. I've known about it
I've
for
known about
ages.
it for years, Bob
Yeah.
Joyce. Yeah.
And there's this like resurgence of it. And then you start seeing this resurgence of like, it's like it goes in cycles. We're hearing about other celebrities
Some of
as
the
well.
videos I sent you, I'm so glad I saved them. One of them I looked for over an hour. And then
Yeah.
you happened to mention Paul Walker. I go, I got a video to show you.
She sure did. I saw that and I'm just like, "Oh, wow, that is compelling." I'm sorry, because that is like his voice also.
And it was before AI. So the things that I
Long
found
time ago.
and I've saved over the years, it's before AI, it's before deepfakes.
Yeah, I
It
know.
was
But that's what I like about it because now it's so easy to superimpose somebody's face, manipulate the voice with
yeah.
technology. This is what we're going into.
Mhm.
So the fact that you're sending stuff that predates all of that just adds that much more credibility. So
Mhm.
where do you want to start? I mean, we
I
have
didn't
this.
even send you everything
I
because
just saw that there was more. And I was just
I
like
went by
getting ready.
the incredible thumbnail that you did, and because I knew about every one of those I hate the word
Yeah,
conspiracy, truth seeking, and I
yeah,
thought I know all about these. And over the years, when I find something super compelling, I
yeah.
save it because it's going to disappear. So I
You know it
download.
is.
Mhm.
You're right. You know it is. Well, let's talk about let's generalize this and talk about like the 27 Club.
Oh, you're reading my mind. I was just going to say that.
Yeah, woohoo.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is the 27? What is the 27 Club? And peck off a few names in there that's
I did my research and everything, but the 27 Club is a theory that many famous musicians, actors in particular too, have all died very around mysterious type things at the age of 27.
mm,
hmm Which is
yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
So I'm
And
looking up here because I even, and again, I'm not a fan of AI, but I like it when I'm doing research because it cuts some time and then you
mm,
can verify the research links that you get from it, right?
of
But
course.
why 27, right? We have to, and I think I even asked that, like, why? And of course, AI is denying that this even exists, but we have so many compelling musicians, actors, you name it, that have all mysteriously unalived or died at 27.
hmm
Mhm.
It is really fascinating because you have people like Amy Winehouse,
Yeah.
Jimi Hendrix, Marilyn Monroe, James Dean, James Mansfield, Christopher Reeve, you know,
Mhm.
so I mean, this is a thing, and when you look at some of these,
Mhm.
you know,
I have a
looking at
list. So
do
there's
do
Robert Johnson, and I believe he was the guy that supposedly made the deal with the devil at the crossroads. He
yeah,
passed away. Many of them are around my right after my birthday, August 16th,
wow,
1936.
hmm
So my birthday was the 15th. I remember the day Elvis died because my mother was such an Elvis fan. Day after my birthday, August 16th. So we
yeah,
got Brian Jones, a Rolling Stones founding member, died July 3rd, 1969. Jimi Hendrix. These are all 27-year-olds, by the way, guys.
hmm
September 18th, 1970, Janis Joplin. October 4th, 1970, Jim Morrison of The Doors died. July 3rd, 1971. I don't know who this guy is, but if you're a deadhead, you will. Ron, quote unquote, Pigpen McKernan, Grateful Dead founding member,
hmm
died
hmm
March 8th, 73. There's just a few more. Dave Alexander, it says from the Stooges, 1975, he was 27. Um, I don't know who this guy is. Pete Ham, Badfinger, Chris
hmm
Bell from Big Star, it says, but then I'll go to the bigger names. Kurt Cobain,
hmm
Kristen Pfaff, who was part of Courtney Love's band, Garbage,
yeah.
died at 27. Amy Winehouse, and the last one, I've never heard of this guy, maybe if anybody has, Kim Young-hyun, Shinny lead singer and songwriter, died at
Hmm.
27, December 18th. He was a K-pop star. So,
Wow.
mhm.
Wow, and it's fascinating of
And
all
there's
these
more.
incredible people. Yeah, and how many, didn't they emphasize? Wayne says he goes because 27 is made up of 2 and 7 when added together make up 9, which is the three essential numbers 3, 6,
Yeah.
9. And
Mhm.
Heidi says 9 symbolizes endings. So again, he goes, I didn't realize 27, all those people were 27. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I mean, it is a bit of an anomaly as to, you know, and
And they're
some of
all
these,
mysterious, these deaths. Like there's
yeah.
something really odd. Nobody seems to have the truth about it. Like you get the media statement they passed away. Even the guy that played the new Chekhov in
Mhm.
um, Star Trek Resurgence, like the movies, he died at 27, very mysterious accident.
Mm.
So many. Like it's not like it's clear cut. People witnessed, God forbid it was an accident or car accident. It's always very mysterious and very surprised, and all at 27.
Yeah, and there is like, the theories of curses with some of these people as well. I'll put perfect.
We're
I
reading
keep
each
forget.
other's
No,
minds
I
because
keep
this is
forgetting. Yeah,
important.
you can do this.
Mhm.
Logan's Run, the age of accepted life termination was 27 years of age, and that show was in the 70s. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's everywhere in plain sight. So, have you heard of, as we get into just a little bit with some of these people, like Marilyn Monroe, when you say sometimes the circumstances around the death have fueled even numerous conspiracy theories and beliefs about this curse because of her alleged affairs with political figures. Jane Mansfield, who was one at 27, died in a tragic car crash, and her rumored ties to the Church of Satan were linked to the idea of this curse. Brandon Lee, during the filming of The Crow, right, due to prop gun
Yeah.
accidentally led to, yeah, believe it was cursed.
Mhm.
Sheila Booth has been mentioned in the lists of cursed celebrities due to a string of unusual and controversial public incidents and behavior. The Superman curse. I've never heard of the Superman curse.
I
The
hadn't either.
yeah, the belief that the role of Superman brings misfortune, citing actors like George Reeves, Christopher Reeves, who face death, injury, or career decline after it. So there's all kinds of like weird stuff. And when you think about it, Christopher Reeves no longer with us, Jane Mansfield, Marilyn Monroe, Brandon Lee, they were part of that
I've
27 club.
seen the postmortem photos of Marilyn Monroe. I,
Yeah.
I believe they're real. And
Yeah.
just from being a nurse, from
Yeah.
perspective looking at it, she does not look postmortem like she would have passed in the way that they claim she passed away, for example.
There we go. See?
Oh, uh-huh.
So there's a wee little mystery there. So I don't know. There's a lot out there. So that's a good place to start. You kids want to go out there and look up the 27 Club. So why
Yeah.
don't we jump to Jim Morrison since he was a part of that
Yes.
as well? Because that's a big one. People don't necessarily. There's that theory that they thought he faked his death, and we'll get into all that. But then
Mhm.
there's that incredible ghostly photo at the cemetery in Paris, which apparently has never been debunked.
I don't know if I've seen that photo.
Yeah, he's in his traditional pose. So everyone's like, "No, it's got to be Photoshop." Because remember on stage, he'd have his arms out and he would do this
Mhm.
thing. Well, that's the photo.
And then the lead singer of a Canadian band called the Tea Party, he looks
Yes.
very much like Jim Morrison and he
Yeah.
sounds like Jim Morrison. I don't believe he is
Yeah.
Jim Morrison, but it's a bit creepy.
It's usually the way making the comebacks. All
Honey.
right. All right. So Jim Morrison, you want to take it?
Yeah, so Jim Morrison passed away at 27. He was living in France, but I dug a little bit into his history.
Yeah.
His father was in the military. It's
Hmm.
rumored he was part of the CIA and part of the, like I said, I didn't dig deep, but I knew about this theory that is he still alive? And there are people theorizing he is still alive, that he
Hmm.
never actually passed away. There was some controversy about the supposed coffin. I know that. What
Hmm.
was in there, his grave space, the whole bit behind it is very, very mysterious. And again, 27 at the age of his death.
See, again, there's a lot that goes with with Jim Morrison. Died in 1971, so he's right in that July 2nd, 1971. There are people who said, no, he overdosed
Mhm.
and he was definitely gone. There were other eyewitnesses who said they swore they saw somebody walking out of the bathroom, right? And
Mhm.
so they don't know that they come in and shoot him up because he was an addict. He was drunk. Some
Mhm.
people say that he died at the bar he was at,
I
and they
heard
just
the bathtub, and there is
yeah.
there is a number from France,
Mhm.
Nico Clou, and he is out and he was a Satanist and he was a cannibal and a whole bunch of stuff. He knows the history of France very well. You can catch him on many different podcasts. I know he's gone to Jim Morrison's grave. Supposedly he's changed his ways. He's a
Mm.
fascinating guy if you ever run into him. To listen to him, he speaks English very well. And historically, a lot of paranormal teams will go out and investigate with him. But he also used to collect serial killer memorabilia. And I know, I didn't think of it till just now, but you guys, if you have the time, look it up. I believe he did a quick video on going to Jim Morrison's grave and what he believes happened and what he saw too.
Mm. Right.
Hmm.
Because I think they released a statement that he died peacefully in his sleep.
Yeah. Hmm.
So
So
I say no on that too. That's
I
a big no there, Bob. I don't think so.
Yeah, because I downloaded just quick clips. There was Jim Morrissey CIA conspiracy. Was he an operative because of what his father did?
Mm,
And then the other one was, is he still alive? Did he fake his death? Because he just wanted to live a normal life, apparently.
hmm. That
Mhm.
seems to be a big one.
Yeah,
Elvis had that same. He was an honorary FBI agent.
yeah.
That Nixon made him an honorary FBI agent to get close to the mob, and there seems to be a big one using celebrities. Because Elvis was in Vegas at the time, right? A lot at that time. But yeah, use the
Sex kittens.
celebrities.
Sex kittens, like that's a known thing. Heck, we could
Yeah.
even do another show on, and I know we've talked about this off here, but there are so many video clips of famous people out there
Yeah.
that are just, and it's like they've got a handler there that says a word, and they just go like this, and they
Mhm.
Britney Spears. We've got Al Roker. There's Shaq. There's Eminem, Katy Perry. I could go on and on and on,
Mhm.
right? So,
Yeah.
and supposedly a lot of the very famous female singers, I say this allegedly, I have no proof, but they have brought in as an operative under the quote unquote sex kitten program. Hmm. So,
So there's a thing.
hmm
There's a thing. Yeah, there'll be another show, I think, added on after this with a
Yes.
lot of more covert stuff.
Mhm.
But yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. I mean, there's so much I want to say, but it falls into
Gotta be
this other
careful.
category, and it takes everything. I'm sure we'll even backtrack a little bit.
Well, we went down a rabbit hole we won't be bringing up today, but when you saw the video clip I sent you, it
I was
wow.
kind of like, boo, boo, boo. I know. So there it goes.
Mhm,
There it
mhm.
goes. I know a lot of this, crisscrosses. I think, we idolize people. The public idolizes. They put so much emphasis into celebrities, musicians, sports, celebrities. And
Mhm.
I mean, I think there was also a big one with, oh, who am I thinking? Kobe Bryant.
Oh,
Kobe
Kobe
Bryant.
Bryant, that's another conspiracy. I didn't even think of that one, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. With that as well. I mean, there's just a lot of people there who started, I think, going against the grain, or they just tired and want to get out of
One
the
out.
whole. Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. But Jim Morrison was one of the big ones, and that's an old one. People have been.
Sorry, that just started playing, by the way. I did not even touch it. My phone just started
That's,
playing.
that's all right. It's a nice laid back show.
Well,
Dogs
I
keep coming
know,
in.
but how did I was in Messenger. I didn't touch my phone and it just hopped over to YouTube and started playing.
There it is. There it is. That's all right. That works. That works. Why not? Um,
Wow, that was
how about the Kurt Cobain?
oh my gosh. Yeah, I said to you before the show today, we could do a show on each one of these people.
Yeah.
So I sent you another video. This gentleman by the name of Chris Todd. Um, I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. He kind of strikes me energetically like kind of having Napoleon syndrome. I believe he's a smaller
Ah,
man. Just very
yeah.
confrontational, like his energy is very angry. He was
Mhm.
just recently on the YouTube channel Redacted, but he's been on many other shows,
Mhm.
and he claims he knows. He says he's written a book that Kurt Cobain was unalived. He did not, it wasn't an accidental thing. It wasn't
Mm.
by his own hand. He apparently has interviewed people that were there that night.
Mhm.
And one of the people in particular, I believe, is on their deathbed. So they've decided to come clean.
Oh boy.
So,
So,
and he
well,
was 27.
yes, he was. He's on the 27 list. I mean,
Mhm.
okay, story says, obviously that they believe, yes, he was unalived, often pointing to his wife at the time, Courtney Love, despite
Mhm.
the official ruling of suicide, right, with a
Chris
self-inflicted.
Todd says it, like he says it,
Yeah,
full
he
chest
puts it
out.
out there, right? It's her. Yeah. See? So, I mean, do they ever give a reason?
I from what if I remember, please don't quote me on this, but if I
Yeah.
remember from the things I've seen from this Chris Todd, and I'm not saying I trust him, but he's the only one talking out loud that had something to do with basically or Kurt Cobain never really wanted to be famous. I think that's been a pretty well known given,
Yeah.
and he wanted out and wanted away. And I, from what I think Chris Todd was saying, he wanted to leave Courtney Love, and she wasn't having it.
Well, no,
So.
he was a cash cow
Mhm.
because even after he passed, there was a whole unreleased
Yeah.
library
Mhm. So
of
she
material.
hired there were a bunch of people apparently at the home that he was found in from these videos I've watched that Chris Todd theorizes there people would just come there and use illicit substances on Kurt's dime. And I believe Kurt got home. He had been in the hospital a week or two before for supposedly a quote unquote overdose.
Mhm.
And so when he came home, there was a bunch of people in his house. Some of them he knew, some of them he didn't. But I know the postmortem apparently shows that the amount of illicit substances he has in his blood would have been enough, I think, to take out two elephants. There would have been no way he could have injected that much into himself, apparently. He would have
Mhm.
been comatose before he even got to the point of, I think, a quarter of what was found in him.
Yeah, so somebody tried to make it look exactly like this
Hmm.
is
Yeah.
why. Yeah. Well, I mean, she herself was an addict. though she always had people in there.
Mhm.
She herself was an addict,
He
you
wanted
know.
to leave her, is what
Yeah,
I believe Chris was saying,
yeah.
and wanted to a divorce. I think they had a prenup, if I remember, because
So
she
she
would
would
have
have
got
been very little.
would have
Yeah.
gotten next to nothing
Hmm.
if he indeed ended up divorcing her. Plus the child, there were I
Hmm.
mean, that poor girl grew up in the worst circumstances and
Hmm.
mhm.
Yeah, but she was left the entire Nirvana library,
And he
allegedly,
fought with
from
Dave
from what.
Grohl. That's another thing that was years in the courts about that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, she got it, she got it, and as long as mom had custody, then she benefited
Mhm.
as well. So sad story, and it's one that seems to come up a lot. The suicide. I
Mhm.
remember reading about, and this happened. This happened for you know how every few years we go through a spell of a rash of celebrity deaths that
Yep.
happen almost every month, right?
Mhm.
During this time, two members of Boston passed away.
Oh, I think
And
I heard this.
do you remember that? One was Brad Delp,
Yeah.
and well, it's totally eluding me, so I'm just going to come in
Don't you
here
hate when
for.
that happens? I don't know their names,
Well,
so
yeah. Well, with Brad Delp, I should know. I'm a Boston fan, and I'm drawing a brain fart on the other gentleman who was one of the founders and keyboard player, guitar player, sort of thing. But Brad Delp, when it was claimed that he suffered from depression, and he went into one of his bathrooms and ran a line to his vehicle, and then turned on the car, and that was it. And it was again tragic death. I mean, they were getting in on tour, and they were pretty much like doing okay. He was engaged or just newly married, about to get married, same as his counterpart, as his bandmate. They were engaged within like literally very close period of time. They had just newly been engaged, and the other guy, I think, same idea. Like he was, so
they had no
back
reason
to back.
to take their own lives. Well, I have to tell you what just absolutely blew my mind one day, and I
Hmm.
think it must have come from spirit, but it was long before 2020, we'll say. I was just sitting there and I went, "Oh my God. You know what? The Eagles have been trying to tell us for over 40 years, Hotel California." And I think what happens, I've often said, I don't ever, ever, ever want to be really, really famous. I mean, I'm getting older now, but especially
Hmm.
at the age these people were, because you never know who is with you, romantically or friend wise, because of who you are, the money you have. You can't go to the grocery store. You're a prisoner in your own home, basically. You are. Mhm.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you can't leave. And it seems like a lot of these people that we're going to be talking about, the theories, are they still alive? Did they fake their
Hmm.
death so that they could escape? Because I can't even, can you imagine? Like, I'm going to the grocery store after this. I got to go pick up stuff. Can you imagine you're a prisoner in your home?
Hmm.
There's no way you can go out. You're just mobbed when you go out. And so you can never leave. And that's when it hit me about the lyrics from Hotel California. When you read them, you go, holy
Yeah.
crap. Mhm,
Yeah. Yeah.
mhm.
See,
Oh,
there's always something hidden in plain sight.
Aaliyah. Yes, you're very right, Heidi. We didn't even think of that one. We got Tupac on the list, but
While
mhm,
and while both of them, Leah and Tupac, were allegedly, I have to say, if you
I
remember
love.
when all the P Diddy stuff came up,
Mhm.
along with Jay-Z, that sort
We
of
have to be
thing,
careful with him. He's litigious, but apparently that is some of the, I'll say conspiracy, even though I don't
going
like it.
around, yeah,
Aaliyah is no longer with us because if you
mm,
dig into that rabbit hole, she did not want to get on that plane, and it was
no,
not a very good plane that they got on. Mhm.
no,
Yep, Biggie.
no. Yeah, see, between that and yeah, and Tupac, you can look to the same source,
Mhm,
apparently.
mhm.
So that's a thing. But again,
It's not Suge.
yeah, but
Mhm,
yes. But yeah, it is said that a lot of people believe Tupac is still alive as well. So again, just people looking to get out of the business, maybe out of fear, maybe out of tiredness, maybe out of, yeah, definitely not suggest.
Want your life back. Like, you're so gifted and
Yeah,
talented. And
yeah,
right, people dream like, if only people could hear my music. And then they
yeah,
do. And you never understand what's behind all this fame, and how many singers
mhm,
have we seen that have actually come out. They're multi-billionaires, you think, touring the world, and they're broke because
yeah,
behind the scenes,
yeah,
they their money was taken from them, or they signed a bad deal. You're a young kid when you sign it, like I say, and you just want your life back, I think.
yeah. I think so. I think there's, when you're young, you think you got the world, by the tail, and
Invincible.
yeah, exactly. Sky is the limit, and it's a really rough industry. I've known a lot of really famous musicians in my life, and when you listen to them talk and you hear them start from early on, and it's a whole different story when you're seeing them in younger times, and
What about Usher? Like, nobody's come out
yeah,
and actually said it, but you dig in there and you go,
mm,
"Oh my lord." And
yeah,
Justin Bieber, like,
yeah,
Britney Spears, again,
hmm,
like that, my heart breaks for that girl. Just
I
just
know
breaks. Mhm,
that one is just a non-stop, you know.
mhm, mhm.
Um, it just she had a bit of a reprieve and just about lost everything, came back and still, but you hear them talk, and then when times wind down, as they get older, they start looking at life a little bit differently within that industry. I think you see things
Mhm,
that you wish you hadn't seen, and you do things
mhm.
that you wish you hadn't done. And at that point, sometimes, again, this will probably
Or
be covered on another show, but yeah, sometimes you want to get out, you can't get out. It's not that easy. The people, I think what people need to realize in both the worlds of music and acting is that even sports, there's a lot of money at stake that gets
Mhm.
put out there to create their stars,
We
their
didn't even
celebrities.
bring Whitney Houston into the mix.
Um,
Apparently,
that's another one.
arrived in 6 inches of bathwater, and then her only precious daughter,
Same.
the following year, exact same way.
Yeah. Same.
Mhm,
You see, Anna Nicole Smith
yes, yes, I forgot.
stirring stuff up, and that's a whole other rabbit hole. But I think, like I say, when there's a lot of money at stake, you're an investment.
That's all you
You
are.
you are an
Mhm,
investment. You are a product. Money gets put into creating you and
mhm.
then this image. And in the end, you toe the line.
Well, like I said, the
Easy
line
come,
that
easy
sticks
go.
with yeah, the thing that sticks with me from Hotel California, you can never leave. You can't. You
You
just can't.
can't.
Other thing I've seen, and I know it's a different show, but I'll just throw it out there, is,
Yeah.
again, getting this, and can we verify it? No, but we do pick up messages from spirit. And then you
Yes.
research it, and what I've been hearing is a lot of these people go to a Hollywood party, ingest something that they think is safe or isn't very strong, and
Hmm.
then they're videotaped doing things they would never done in a million years had they been there with their full mind.
Hmm.
It's another
Hmm.
way to get helped into a lot of these things.
It does. It secures the deal,
Mhm.
which basically makes you behave,
Yep. Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So, and again, without, we can't deep dive it because it really is. There's so much that it will be much better put it in proper context. But
Mhm.
ask yourselves why, when a celebrity passes away, why only a certain amount is left to family? Why do they not leave it to their loved ones? Why does it get gifted to not so much charities as it is philanthropists,
Mhm.
who are maybe your investors? Why does it, um, why do celebrities or musicians try to get their children to self-establish while they have the backing and creation and so on, without getting into the same situation,
Mhm.
so you have to ask yourself, like, why it happens that way. I remember reading an article when Aaron Spelling passed away, and Tori Spelling, his daughter, was just mortified. She was left $1 million. Just some of that should be just like,
Yeah.
oh, thank you, Daddy. But it's nope.
I was shocked when I saw that myself. I thought, good
Mhm.
Lord, you had more money than God almost, and you left
I
her.
know. And it went to his wife, and as it should have, goes to your spouse, and he left figuring, I mean, when her mom passed, that maybe it would go to her and her brother, but maybe there was just a whole other reason why it didn't. Because I read that time after time after time,
Mhm.
say, oh no, this certain celebrity will not be leaving their money to this person. Gloria Vanderbilt never left it to her son, Anderson Cooper.
Nope.
He was
I was
self-made.
when you said Aaron, what about Aaron Carter? And I know that Nick Carter from the Backstreet Boys,
Yes.
many of his siblings have passed away, including Aaron Carter, under
Mm.
very strange circumstances.
See?
Mhm.
So I think, when you have, when we went through that time and lost all these celebrities, Anthony Bourdain, we lost David Bowie, we lost, I mean, Lemmy. Yeah, I lost Lemmy.
Oh
We
my
lost,
God, how could we forget Lemmy? There's
uh,
Avicii too, Chris
yeah,
Cornell, Chester Bennington.
yeah.
There's a lot of celebrities out there, very strange circumstances. And I just saw another podcast, Chester Bennington's son, Jamie. He's from Lincoln Park, for people who may not know who he is.
Hmm.
He, there's even some question is he Chester Bennington's real father? But when you see Jamie, I would say he's probably his father. They look very similar.
Yeah.
But he is now calling foul on the story out there about what happened to his father. He's an adult now and he's trying to get to the truth. I don't know if he ever will, but
Hmm.
mhm.
It's a deep rabbit hole, and one thing that's always intrigued us, I think, has been the world of celebrities. Like I say, we as people put so much into like idolizing these people. That in itself is a lot of pressure. It really is. But let's talk about the big elephant in the room, which is
What one we've
Elvis.
got so many.
Yeah, why stop now?
We
Let,
got a
let,
herd.
it's like, I know, but it's always been about the king. It's
I
been
knew you were
about
gonna say Elvis.
buzz, 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 buzz. Yes,
I
Elvis
downloaded a clip that's
Presley.
not that long to yes, to compare when we go there, to compare the gentleman we're gonna be talking about, I know we will, versus Elvis,
Yes.
and some of it's very compelling. Mhm. So,
So
yes.
so we know he had a really tumultuous life. He did. Elvis was like Elvis after all. But his death was unexpected. He was
Very.
unhappy,
Mhm.
right? Girlfriend after girlfriend. His marriage ended. It was always like this.
Mhm.
Addictions to prescriptions. So that messes with your judgment, obviously. And he just did weird things. Like he went and had, and I get why. You're a celebrity. You can't just walk into a dental
As
office.
I said, you can't go anywhere.
No,
Mhm.
you can't, right? But I mean,
Mhm.
he did this last minute dental repair that he needed to have done, and just little things like breadcrumbs that he had left. And then this happens, and then all of the stuff comes out. Now you enter Ron Joyce, which is somebody close to the family, ironically,
Mhm.
happened to marry Elvis's first girlfriend.
I did not know that about
I
him, but
sure did.
I
I
was thinking
sure
about
hell
his
did. Yeah.
girlfriend when he died. I believe she ended up marrying, um, I want to say David Foster. Like she married somebody pretty big in the music industry. She's no longer married to them, but that was a little odd.
Right. That Ginger Alden.
Mhm.
Yeah. But this was like somebody like I think his first real serious girlfriend.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Then
Mhm.
and he married this lady.
Mhm.
He's had, children. His son is an Elvis impersonator who's
Yes.
very, very good. And then you hear Joyce singing.
Yeah, I have a small clip. It compares even their faces side to side. And I went down this rabbit hole quite a few years ago, and I watched him on his channel because he's got a YouTube channel,
Yeah.
and he's doing his sermon and he's explaining about who he used to be versus who he is now. And he left a lot of money and a lot of fame. This was all coming out of his mouth. He's got a southern drawl, and when he sings, good Lord,
Ha.
when he sings. Mhm.
That's the one that I saw that was very compelling is because his son was singing at some venue and he walks over to his father and he says, "Okay," he goes, "Everybody want to hear him sing," and it was like, and he puts the microphone to him based on the song they were singing, and then he belts it out.
Mhm.
I had chills. I mean, my mom was diehard Elvis. Okay, I grew up
So
listening to
was
the
my
band.
mother.
It's a mom thing.
I hate my mother go, let's put some house cleaning music on. And then she thought she was so hip because she'd be playing Billy Joel and stuff. I had to give her, I mean,
I
I
know,
was born
yeah.
in 65, but
And
I
you got
remember,
hangover music going, no.
yes, exactly. Still, I
Yeah.
remember my
Yeah.
birthday's August 15th, August 16th. I just turned 11. I turn on the radio and I hear Elvis has died. I remember running up to my mom, Mom, you're not going to believe it. Elvis is dead. My mother, oh my
Mine
God, it
too.
can't be true. It's
Devastated.
not.
Devastated. Oh my God.
What is it? Both our moms into
My mom had black market albums. Okay. she
I said
had,
I probably knew the words to every Elvis song from the womb, like in the
oh
womb.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Mhm,
yeah. I was just
mhm.
like, oh my gosh. But I have to say, that one clip that I watched when he just belted this out, I went, see right there. There's some good impersonators out there,
Yeah.
but this is just a no way. You grew up listening to this voice all the time. You
So
try to,
you know it. Yes, I
you know it,
know it.
right?
Mhm.
And then you just start seeing videotapes of him at Graceland, and he's just sort of popping about and just like doing stuff outside and walking into the house and like
Yeah.
very, very much like he belongs there. And I'll back up 1 minute as well here. When he passed away, I think it was at his funeral, actually, or
Mhm.
shortly after, some memorial. Somebody took was videotaping or took a photograph and went into a window, and I don't know if it was the building that was adjacent to where the courtyard was,
Right.
and they posted that. And this again, long before all of these computers and CGI and AI, and it looked a whole lot like Elvis sitting in there. This guy had a lens on him, and I'm like, okay, that's something. So all of this is happening, and then you've got this guy. You've got this guy who is,
Mhm.
but he acts like he belongs. He was also there when Lisa Marie passed. He was at Graceland,
I
and
was
he
just thinking about
was.
Lisa Marie because there's
Mhm.
something very strange about the way Lisa Marie passed away. I know her eldest, her daughter, I think, no, I think her son was the eldest. He
Mhm.
passed away, Benjamin
Yeah,
Keogh.
yeah.
Her daughter, Riley Kehoe, is, she's a model.
Executor to everything.
Well, yeah, but she's also a model and she has done some acting. But
Yeah,
I know Lisa Marie had twins with another, I think it was her ex-husband's best friend. They got married. Anyway, so
yeah,
she had two little girls when she passed away. I think
yeah.
Riley's got them, but she's fighting with Lisa, or she's fighting with Priscilla Presley about, like, Riley shouldn't have to fight.
Graceland,
Yeah. Hmm.
because Priscilla's always been in control of Graceland, and Lisa,
Hmm.
she knew that Lisa was changing everything over to Riley,
Hmm.
and it ended up being with Riley. And Riley's just like, nope, new blood, new generation, taking it to new direction, which didn't sit well with Grandma.
But she should, right?
She should, it's her right.
Hmm.
It's her right. It's her home.
And
Or
Lisa
her
Marie married Michael Jackson, like all these,
mhm.
it's just creepy.
I
Mhm.
know. It's just like it's a circle that keeps going around. But with Elvis now, they're starting to do facial comparisons. A little scar on Joyce and a little
That's
scar
the
on
video.
Elvis.
It's about 2 minutes long that I saved,
Yeah.
and it shows them side by side, and
Hmm.
it's pretty compelling to see it.
Yeah.
And the best thing to do for anybody listening, and you want to go down any of these rabbit holes, use many different sources,
Hmm.
but look at before AI. There are videos out there still.
Older ones. Yeah.
And when you see and you hear, because he has a choice, but he has a channel on YouTube, Bob Joyce, and you can go and you can hear him preach, speak, and sing. And if you are not compelled by what you hear and see,
Hmm. Yeah.
mind blowing.
But also look at the other stuff where you just see him roaming around. You see him with Elvis's first girlfriend. Like there's a whole lot of Elvis connections here.
Yeah.
And you need to at least ask yourself why, right down to
Yeah.
the
Why?
the po- the political his political belief as to who he would follow, because he's been seen at a lot of Republican conventions. I mean, up close, like first few rows.
Hmm. Yeah. It's a little, I don't know. Like, I'm more leaning towards, is it real? Because people are saying there's no way Bob Joyce is only this age. Elvis
Mhm.
would have been close to 90.
Yeah.
But
Uh, Nothing that Botox won't take care of. I've seen some people like who are between 70 and 90 who look like they're 50.
I had patients working out in the community. This one lady in particular comes to mind. Still had natural hair color, believe it or not,
Yeah.
96 years old,
Yeah.
lived in her own home, did all the yard work, was up and
Yeah.
down ladders, was whatever. The only reason she was on my caseload, I think she had ended up falling and had off a ladder, no doubt. I think she was changing the Christmas lights on her roof
Mhm.
and ended up with had to have surgery on the wrist and get pins and a plate. So I was there for the dressing. I was
Mhm.
just marveling at this woman, and she was not that she was so unique, like sharper than a tack. But nowadays, and I've had this conversation with a few other people, and the thing is, right? Like, look at the Golden Girls back in the day. They
Mhm.
were, within our age range. How
Mhm.
elderly they looked, not even the characters they played versus today. And I keep hearing this, like 70s almost a new 50, 60s almost a new 40, because we are seeing this. People look much younger nowadays.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Mhm. It You know what? I mean, I think too, if you're in a position where you can afford to eat really, like, good, healthy food, homegrown, organic, some people travel in certain circles and they get the best of everything,
I'm thinking of
not
Elvis.
fuel injected.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking of Elvis's favorite sandwich. It was rumored to be peanut butter, banana, and bacon fried sandwiches.
I can't even imagine, but it'd be interesting to see what Bob Joyce's favorite meal is. I'm
Don't
asking
knock
for a
it till you
friend,
find
Mr.
it, guys.
Joyce.
Yeah, don't knock it. What's your favorite sandwich, Mr. Joyce?
I know it's your favorite sandwich. Sure, you know right away where you're going with it too. But
Yeah.
it is a really incredible thing, because you're sort of watching it unfold a little bit, and it's almost like he purposely gives you the breadcrumbs.
Mhm. I
You
think they
know,
all.
Mish says, I read Elvis and Me, went to bed thinking how bad he was. I dreamt he was angry with me, with my thoughts, and chased me around the room with the furniture. It scared me. I was only
Aw.
16. Poor girl.
Yeah.
Um, Contessa says, the world is a huge stage for all actors to play their part. Who knows what is real, what isn't? So much happening behind the curtain. I always see the Wizard of Oz, the man behind the curtain, but at the end of the day, all the world is a stage
Mhm. Well,
and reads like a script.
I was going to say too, though, when you look at some of the arenas out there, including laws of the universe, law of attraction, manifestation. You
Mhm.
got the Matrix, which when I first saw it years ago, thought, oh my God, it like what's going on here? Like years
Mhm.
ago, right? And
Mhm.
then now, holy cow, it's a documentary almost, people say, right? But it's
Mhm.
true. It's do you want to know more? That's why it's so cool talking about these things, because anybody listening or watching the replay, if any of this, even if you don't believe it, but you think, oh my God, I got to see, like, why would they be talking about this? Just
Mhm.
dip your toe in, take a look, start doing a little digging. I think you're going to be really surprised.
It's true. It's true. I mean, we've been hearing about stuff like this for a really long time.
Mhm.
And since you brought up Michael Jackson with Lisa Marie, again within the circle, why don't we go down that rabbit hole?
Yeah, because I watched an interview, quite a few with Lisa
Yeah.
Marie after she divorced him, as I'm sure you did.
Mhm.
And she would not say much, if anything. And she was very clear about that. I think I saw her in one interview. I don't know if it was with Diane Sawyer. And she said, I saw things, saw quite a few things that were concerning. And she
Mhm.
left it at that. Mhm.
Yeah. Well, she had class too. Like I think it was just part of the agreement.
I always,
Apparently they remained friends too, so she probably just chose to back
I always
away.
liked her. I don't know why, but I always
Yeah.
liked her. She just kind
Yeah.
of seemed like a cool, kind of chill
Yeah.
girl, especially where she came from. Mhm.
Yeah, and not a lot of confidence, she went through her own share of addictions and such. And when she decided, I think when she got her act together, that she would go the same way that Natalie Cole did with her father, Nat King Cole, when they did a song and they superimposed her
Yeah.
dad in the video. Elisa Marie did the same thing with her father. It was just really touching. But she eventually did a whole album
Oh, yeah.
CD, and she's got a beautiful voice.
I thought she did. I
Yeah,
liked
I
her
did too. I
no.
did too. I'm like, "Oh, it's too bad that you, like, I say wasted years, just, being could have been just so much more productive." But you look at what you come from, and who knows what you see. Let's say for a minute, that Elvis is still around.
Mhm.
Like, how does that not mess you up? Growing up, and you're seeing this, and you can't talk about it, and even into an adulthood you've got to keep it down, and you have these dysfunctional relationships, which is pretty much what he did, like the sins of the father, as they say, the same repetitive cycle.
I was having this conversation with someone, a group, I think it was we were chatting on a video or something live, and I was saying, right, people only know what they've seen being brought up in. But we also have the opportunity to make the choice that the dysfunctional,
Mhm.
abusive, whatever it may be, things that happen, you can put your foot down and say, it stops with me. I choose
Mhm.
not to go further with the way that I've been raised. It's been done this way, done this way, done this way. And I'm trying to be careful with what I'm saying here because the platforms are on. But
Yes.
it almost seems like, yeah, she finally realized, I think. She knew that
Mhm.
the den of snakes, to say, that
Mhm.
are can be around you in that
Mhm.
arena. And she seemed to navigate it well, but it's
Mhm.
very, very just disturbing the way she passed away and what happened to her.
Mhm.
Never really
Mhm.
got any answers.
There
Mhm.
there seems to be, again, just add it to the list of mysteries. Contessa says, I saw a documentary where she says she didn't want to have kids with him because she wanted to have control over them. I don't know how true this is, but it's on
About
YouTube.
Michael Jackson, I'm guessing, yeah.
Hmm.
His kids are
Yeah.
messed up.
Well, I mean, that's what ended up ultimately happening.
I
But
did download, I think I sent it to you. If
mhm.
if we go down the rabbit hole with Michael Jackson, that the day he supposedly passed away, and Farrah Fawcett also died the same day, by the
Same
way.
day with very
Mhm.
little
Fanfare.
coverage.
Mhm.
Mm.
And, there were paparazzi back in the day. It was a nightmare compared
Yeah.
to, I know they're still there, but not the way they used to be, that followed I thought it was an ambulance, but the vehicle says coroner, and you see them put Michael Jackson in on the stretcher, and
Mhm.
then somebody followed it to the hospital, and they're partially hidden, and they took video, and it very much looks like it could be Michael Jackson that gets up and gets out of the back of the coroner's vehicle, and he's kind of covered then, and he goes into the emergency through the back door.
I saw something very similar where they actually did something along the day of his funeral too, with these vehicles just crisscrossing and one taking off, and you never knew what you were looking at, because there are rumors and people have gotten photographs of someone that looks like it was Michael Jackson dressed up as a woman at his own funeral.
I saw those, and then I think I sent it to you. I came across
Yeah.
a video where his eldest son, Prince, supposedly had a yacht party 2 years ago,
Mhm.
and they said they knew that Michael Jackson was they put allergic to the sun. Now he's quite elderly looking, this gentleman, but he's same stature, same build. He's got a hat on, sunglasses. He's walking with he's got a white shirt and those stovepipe black pants and then and he's with Prince getting onto the boat. They're all around. There's pictures. Then you get into the Dave conspiracy with Michael Jackson. Have you heard that one?
No, go ahead.
So Dave made the talk show circuit around the time Michael Jackson with the burns. Remember with the burns?
Yeah.
Michael Jackson had himself on the Pepsi commercial, and they
Yeah.
were theorizing that he was burnt much more terribly than what was reported. So that was an interesting.
That was interesting. I remember seeing an image of that as well. I'll tell you though, here's a story that I read, and I'll say it because it comes from, my hometown of
Oh yeah, you
30
told
years.
me about this. Please do. Yeah.
It blew me away. Now, this was like Burlington, Ontario in Canada. And Burlington at the time was a place that lots of money, and it was smaller and had big houses, big communities. And Tom Selleck was rumored to have had property out there. Ann Wilson.
Dan Aykroyd, isn't that where Dan Aykroyd had some property too?
I'm not, well, a lot of them had property in the Muskokas as well.
I knew, yeah, in Barry's Bay and
stuff. I mean, tons of them. Martin Short, Kurt and Goldie. I mean, Eric Lindros. They all had big places up there. But Ann Wilson from Heart. Raised her daughter. They were there for a few years. There were photos of them sort of in and about. So there are many places to sort of just tuck away and hide if you have to, just to get away from the limelight and blend in, right?
How many people say I'm going to run away to Canada, right? We hear
I know. Not anymore. That's not a thing. But but we got accustomed to the stories living there for so long. It never had a sighting, so I was like, oh yeah, whatever. But I know, I was like, oh well. But this story circulated because it was someone who was delivering his mail. So essentially, she claimed she walked up to. Now I'm not clear if it's because I'm not looking to get in trouble. I don't know if this was like a mobile delivery service that's there, or was it their actual mail service? But this woman walked up to this big house, set way back from the road, so not a lot of visibility, and she had a package, and she noticed it was from a cosmetic company. And she goes, and it was like a custom place, which is why it stuck out, because it was nothing she recognized. So she knocked on the door, which tells me, you needed a signature. And she says, the man that came out signed for it, was very polite. She goes, and she swears it was Michael Jackson. Wow. So when she went in and she looked up this cosmetic company, they specialize in certain really high-end cosmetics, which he probably would have needed if he had allergies or anything that he was accustomed to using.
The vitiligo that he had too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was covered FX. Like now it's more commonplace, and you can buy it at higher end drugstores here in Canada.
Yeah.
But I remember years ago when it came out, it looks like a wrinkle, but I had a really bad scar here. and I had ended up buying it, and I had a heck of a time getting it. This would have been years ago. You could only order it from the company, and it was so expensive, but it's amazing makeup. It'll cover tattoos. It'll cover
Everything.
burns. One time I fell when I was in the bathroom. I was super tired, swear to God, sitting on the toilet at my old house. And it's middle of the night, right? And I was tired. I know it's TMI, but wait till you hear this. So I'm sitting there, and there used to be a towel bar across from the toilet. And I slipped as I fell forward. My eye went into the bar for the towel. I'm lucky I didn't break my orbital bone. I still don't know, but I had a black eye for 2 months, and you do not be walking around with a black eye. It covered that like I didn't have a mark. So I'm wondering if that's
So see right there, it's just an example that it can be done. It can be done. And but it was different. So the story sort of went out there. I mean, almost, pretty soon after it happened. So it's kind of like, oh, okay. So how many are hiding in plain sight?
There's rumors about Princess Diana, that she's still alive out down in one of the higher end communities.
Yeah.
You just don't know.
No, for sure. For sure. I agree. Hey,
okay,
Carrie.
so with Contessa's comment, if it's okay, I'm going to highlight.
Yeah.
So she says, I think today it would be hard to have somebody pulling out their phone, taking pictures unless they surgically change their looks. Do you want me just to quickly pull up that video of Paul Walker? That is crazy, you guys, when you see this. Let me just grab it. I have so many videos. We haven't got to Paul McCartney yet.
No, just we got time. We have half hour.
Hang on, let me see. I got to find it. It's lower in the bottom. I know it is. Let me see where I sent it to myself here. But so to preface it as I'm looking for it, because you had brought up Paul Walker, I'd even forgotten about him. Now, when I send it to myself, I will find it, because I sent myself so many videos. You brought up Paul Walker, and I said, oh my gosh, wait till you see.
These are great. I know.
I have.
Yeah.
This was at an airport, and he had his camera on, preface it, and he goes and he finds a guy, and he says, are you Paul Walker? And the guy here, I just reset it to myself. Wait till you see this, and you guys tell me if you don't think this is Paul Walker.
Okay, yeah. Put it up. It's compelling.
It is. The only reason I do my videos this way, I find if I have them uploaded ahead of time, I have the highest speed. I have a gaming computer. It'll jam it up. So I send it from Messenger. But wait till you guys see this. Share screen. Okay, hang on. Because it doesn't seem to jam up my bandwidth that way. Make sure. Is it up? Okay. Hang on.
Right.
It's not. Oh, wait. Oh, God, it's always coming up muted. I forgot about that. Hang on. We'll start it again. It's only 1 minute and 7 seconds.
Okay.
Well, it wasn't even me. It was some other dude. They thought it was me.
No, this is. Oh, now you're playing with me.
I swear to God.
You swear? Okay.
They thought it was me, and it wasn't even me.
I love this.
I did the campaign before.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, but no, it's not even me. In the
so they should maybe David, I'll pick some dude trying to knock on Paul.
Yeah, they got it. They got a guy for a better price.
You're cool. That was I think you remember Johnny Walker.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, take care, man. What happened to the toe, bro? What happened to the toe, bro? No comment?
Oh, I didn't hear you.
Oh, I said, what happened to the toe?
Oh, I just messed it up. Oh, yeah.
What are you doing, man? Driving fast?
I'm running. I'm out of here, bro. Enough is enough.
Hey, look, take it easy, man, and I appreciate you.
No, we're doing that. It's all made up.
All made up. What's the...
It's just starting to loop again, so I'll stop it.
Mwah. For little Audrey.
it just kept looping. So this is after Paul Walker died, you guys. This is not Paul Walker. This guy is at an airport and thinks, Audrey said she just heard you, Michelle, and said, Oh, I said hi.
That's why I said big hello to
Oh,
Audrey.
so
Hello,
sweet.
Audrey.
And Kevin's saying it's not even me. LOL. Yeah, like there was a longer version of this video when I saw it. It was a few years back, and it had been a few years since Paul Walker supposedly passed away. And I saved it. I downloaded it because I thought I will never find this video again. And he's claiming he's not Paul Walker. He's been mistaken for Paul Walker. You tell me, was that not Paul Walker?
Well, Contessa says lookalikes. That to me, it sounds like Paul.
It
Like, I mean, it
sounds
sounds
just
like him.
like him.
Like visual is one thing, but the sound is something else. Aw, I'm glad, little cutie pie she is. Princess Audrey.
Aw, we're sending her huggies.
Yes.
But that's what I'm
So,
saying. So lookalikes, yes. But like how many
yeah,
times have you heard this? I hear this all the time from people. I swear to God, even people halfway around the world, I just saw you over here. Right. So
right.
we know we have almost doppelgangers, but when you sound identical,
Yeah.
that's what's like.
Contessa says maybe it was taken before he died and just
It
post after.
wasn't Contessa. That's why the guy approached him. Like I dug
Yeah.
into this and saved it.
Yeah.
This is a couple years. That's why he brought up, were you driving too fast?
Yeah.
Because he had already
Ooh.
died.
And then
supposedly
he
in
was
the
just
car.
trying to get away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was. Yeah,
You
he
could
was
see
trying
him
to get
booking
away.
it. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh my
Mhm,
gosh. That was,
mhm.
yeah, that was very, very interesting.
Because I dug into that Contessa specifically because it showed up a couple years after he died, and I went deeper into it because I wanted to see, like, could this have been taken beforehand? But why would the guy ask him? I didn't play the full 1 minute and 9 seconds because it starts to loop a bit. But he starts the conversation with, "Are you Paul Walker?" Because I believe I'd seen a longer video, and then I seen a clip of it, so I downloaded the clip. But there is a longer video if you can find it. And he explains, like, Paul Walker's no longer on this earth. So who is this guy?
Yes. Yes. It's crazy. Okay. Let's do Paul McCartney. And this is going to,
we did like
I know. Okay. This is like a part one.
I have goosebumps. This is crazy. We could do 3 shows on Paul McCartney.
Just this one article. So I mean, this is courtesy of Sir Andrew Gow.
I didn't even get to dig into it. You sent it to me. I'm going to watch it. I know you've read it.
I love Andrew. I do. He just gets it. This is a long article that there's so many twists and turns because he dug. And this is what he does. He digs and he has incredible things. Okay. But we're only going to tackle the Paul McCartney. We're going to cover to a certain point with the yeah, I am the walrus. See, we know. We're going to cover the part where allegedly he died in a car accident, and there's a lot to that as well, by the way. And he had a step in because the next part of the show is going to be some really deep, dark stuff. So we know he was in a car accident, right? We know he perished in a fatal car crash in 1966, or did he? According to the chilling, if not, and I'm reading from this incredible article, okay? If not, according to the chilling, if not incredible rumor that he was replaced by a lookalike, which he did have. I mean, that wasn't, that wasn't a secret at the time, who was a session musician who seamlessly stepped back into his iconic shoes. To this day, the eerie tale continues to haunt fans, casting a shadow over the most beloved bands in rock and roll history. So the details surrounding his alleged deaths are shrouded in mystery, with each version of the tale more disturbing than the last. So they're looking at, could it be a hoax? What is it? So if you look at the soft evidence surrounding the alleged death in 66, you'll notice noticeable shifts in the band's behavior, song lyrics, and album artwork. Okay, suggestive. So do you want to hit on some of that, Lorilei?
Oh my gosh, where to start? So I'm going to say for myself, I've gone down this rabbit hole quite a few years ago. I was still in my previous home, and there are documentaries out there. I strongly suggest, if you think any inkling of any truth to this, and the article that you've referenced, this guy's done his homework. They prove it to you, but I can tell you that what the theory is, that when Paul supposedly passed away, that MI6 decided they were just too famous and it would create too much of a disruption and people would lose their minds if something happened. So they supposedly took Billy Shear, who is session musician, apparently worked behind the scenes to tune the guitars and what have you, that he underwent some cosmetic surgery. And you can compare Paul pre-accident versus post. There's a difference. I know people had done voice comparisons even. So anyways, they claim that Billy was brought forth to step into Paul's shoes. So as the story goes, he was a right-handed guitar player, had to learn how to play the bass with his left hand. But there's some compelling evidence out there. I spent over an hour and a half looking for this video. And it isn't the one I was thinking of. But Paul McCartney, the original one I was looking for, and I wish to God, I probably got it downloaded on an old device. Paul backstage, and Ringo Starr and his wife Barbara Bach, George Harrison and his wife Olivia Harrison come up to Paul, and it's not just the one that I have in the video. It's are saying, shaking his hand, "Hey Billy, how's it going? How are you doing? Billy, Billy, Billy." I sent Michelle the clip though that I did find, that Olivia Harrison, George Harrison's wife, comes right up to him on video and says, "Hi, Paul," or "Hi, Billy, how are you doing?"
You keep talking. I'll dig it up.
Okay, well, the other one I have that I didn't send you.
Okay. Oh, okay. Then you play it.
Wait. There's another clip because that one was okay. You go ahead, but there's another one I have of George Harrison on video. I found after I sent you this, calling Paul William.
Okay. So, all right. So do you want to play one? Do you have it handy or no?
I do, sure, because there's that. There is so many things.
Ringo's still around, yeah.
Okay, Olivia. Yeah. Okay, here it is. Olivia Harrison calls. What's going on here? Hang on.
Okay. Yeah. No worries.
Stop loading, guys. Give me a sec. And it's darn time. Hang on, stop. It's not very long. Most of the clips that I have, because I bunched just in case we decided to pull up. So let me share here. Come on up. Oh my gosh, there is so much information out there, you guys, that when you go down this rabbit hole, be prepared to be there for. Let me make sure that's on the screen. Sometimes it goes up, sometimes. Okay, it's there. Good. We'll make it full screen. Where did you go? Come back. Okay, there we go. All right, you guys, listen closely.
What's it like to do what? It's lovely. No, excuse me. I've got to say hello to my friends. Hello. You all right? Thank you. We're going to go on here. Thank you.
So what do you guys think of that? I have another one I found. It's really quick. I had to actually listen to it a few times. It's that quick. But George Harrison, and again, these are all pre-AI, you guys, and deep fake. Like, this is not, Photoshop wasn't even around when these were taken. And George Harrison says very quickly on the clip, "Hello, William." And they hug each other.
Yeah.
So,
see, there's stuff, and I want to save it for the next show, and I don't mean to be that guy, but this is a really long article, very, very thorough. But let's just leave it with
all these people one at a time.
Oh my gosh, I know, and this is probably where we'll start. But what is interesting about this is when you find out why, which we'll cover in the next show, and sort of to do it, but there's just so much stuff in between, and we've got maybe 15 minutes. So there is a very strong belief that he just wanted out. Yeah. And when you find out why he wanted out, you'd be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Because with his car accident, there were witnesses that came forward. Let me see if I can get to at least that part of the
Oh, that would
article.
be good because I didn't get a chance to read that article. I was so glad you sent it, but I
Yeah.
wanted we got an hash we may not even get to that. There was
Well,
many video
well,
clips I pulled up just in case.
we'll touch on her. We'll touch on her because I don't want to give away everything with this. But remember 1966,
Mhm.
okay, where there was a bold claim by John Lennon that says we were more popular than Jesus.
I've heard that. Yeah.
As a result, the planes were shot at. The KKK protested against her concerts. There were anti something Semitic slurs target. I don't want to, certain words we're not even allowed to say anymore. So, because their manager, Brian Epstein, there was a lot involved with that as well. But despite the backlash, they became the most popular entertainment act in the world.
True.
So, then we begin with the classic Paul is dead story, according to the
Did you
lore.
ever listen to Did you ever listen to the record? Sorry to jump in there. I have done that myself as
Yes,
a
and
kid.
you hear Paul
Playing
is
it
dead.
backwards, I'm getting goosebumps again. It
I know
says
Paul
Paul
is
is dead. It does.
yeah,
I've heard it with my own ears.
yeah. See, so
Mhm.
according to the lore, Paul McCartney allegedly crashed a '65 Aston Martin the night of September 10th, 1966. So that's a little bit different than the story that we got, where he yeah, that's right, 1966. No, that's right. Okay, it is 1966. So it goes on, and let me get back to where we were. Okay. The tragic accident is said claimed his life just hours later in the morning of Monday the 11th of September. The details were got very sketchy. The tale stipulates that Paul had stormed out of Abbey Road Studios after a heated argument with manager Brian Epstein, who had pressured him for 5 new songs before John returned. Blah 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 blah. So this went on. So he was again overcast evening. He left as the rain began to fall. He spotted a striking woman by the roadside, suitcase in hand, thumbing for a ride. And in some of the verses, her name was Rita. Lovely Rita, meter maid, nothing can come between us, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So, in other words, Donna. Paul stopped to offer her a lift, and once again, she quickly realized she was in the presence of a Beatle, excitedly fumbled for the radio, despite to find a song, and this is what came up. However, his fans, the jubilance was short-lived, for his car soon careered off, the road, violently wrapping around a pole. Both died instantly. In another account, the woman managed to crawl away from the wreckage. By the time she returned to save him, the car had exploded, leaving him trapped and virtually. We'll leave that there. Beatles would write about the crash, real or imagined, and they would basically references to Paul and the woman on that fateful Sunday. Back home, sources like burning, like matches, lifting car latches. It starts going into the lyrics. Okay, he blew his mind out in a car, didn't notice the lights had changed. The rain exploded with a mighty crash as we fell into the sun. That's Band on the Run,
Yeah.
right? So in all of their lyrics, the two of us, a day in
I
the
never
life.
thought of that. I'm sorry to stop you there, but
Yeah.
quickly. My dad was a huge Wings fan, and Paul McCartney and Wings. And as soon as you said those lyrics, I went, "Holy crap! How many times have I heard those lyrics and never
Mhm.
thought anything of them?" Wow.
I know. They left a slew of lyrics, but it goes on with the crash basically and announced, they only announced it in the US on the 12th during a premiere episode of the Monkees television show. So the announcement was
Heidi, I was
broadcast.
thinking this too. I just going to
Yeah.
throw this in. Sorry, Michelle. She said, I just thought of Michael Jackson buying
Yes,
Sony and the Beatles
he
count. I thought
did.
of that too.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah, and he and Paul McCartney sort of had words over that as well, apparently. So we go on, like there's a whole lot of information here. But at the time of the crash, they had just wrapped up what would be their final tour in the U.S. So that was a thing, and there's pictures here, of course, of the car as well, and there's a whole lot about this car as well. I'm just saying as we move along. So I'm going to basically leave this here, and I'm sorry to be that guy, but I really do want to get into the entire thing with you guys because yeah, I think maybe we probably should just do like pick two celebrities and we'll take this one and then maybe start doing things like that, because this one has so much information and I just don't have time to go through it all. So we're going to leave this here until part 2. I'm
Well,
sorry.
I was going to put up Hillbilly Herb. Welcome to, and I seen Carrie Fast here. There was something they had said. Hang on.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find it here. They said, imagine living your entire life pretending to be someone else. Yes, that. But there was a comment you made. Oh, there it is. Now I need to do a deep dive on albums before and after the accident. And Carrie Fast had a good comment too. She says, I rabbit holed celebrities for years, and it is quite a mind boggle to understand. So many question marks, but that is a reveal in itself, hidden in plain sight.
And well, we're going to examine more of those lyrics, album covers, as I make my way down this. And I will give, when we do the, when I set up the show for the next one, I'm going to put a link to the article as well, which can definitely be found. So we're going to, we're going to get hot and heavy into that. And
Yes.
you guys are going to come out of it kind of going,
What?
I know. So, okay, let's finish off with Anne Heche.
Oh my goodness. That's another one we could do a whole show for people that don't know who she is. She's an actress.
Yeah.
She always reminded me of a little blonde pixie. She was always so petite and that beautiful little pixie cut she'd wear. And it was very, very scandalous back in the day. Ellen DeGeneres had a TV show called Ellen. I didn't watch it, but she came out basically on international television, and she had a relationship with a woman. So after the show ended, her and Anne Heche somehow ended up together and were living together for a few years. But there were some very strange things that happened with Anne Heche during that period. I remember she was found, I think right after they broke up, she was found running naked through people's backyards and completely out of it. And, she kind of disappeared from the limelight, but there was this rumor coming out that she was putting a movie documentary out revealing very terrible things, to be careful on YouTube, of what is going on with young children. And so all of a sudden she has this crash, and I've seen the vehicle. It looks like it's going 130 miles an hour down the street, crashes into a house. And the thing that got me always, though, is the video. This is a live newscast. I even downloaded, or we can share the link after. They are talking about the crash, who was hurt and what, and you see them with Anne Heche in a body bag on the stretcher. They're wheeling it. They're almost at the ambulance. The body bag opens, and Anne Heche sits right up, having walk on her. I was saying,
I've seen that one.
Yeah, as a nurse, you know that girl did not have third-degree burns all over her body. There is
no, she did not.
All of a sudden, she's not alive anymore after 6 days after this. Did I miss anything?
They said smoke inhalation. It, I think, was the reason. But apparently she
had third-degree burns too. That she was
did
in
I say?
Yeah,
and they put her into a coma. If she had burns, they would have put her into a coma. I'm sure, to help the body heal. It's not that's not out of the ordinary. I've heard that.
It's absolute truth.
But when you look at that video, she does not look like she's got burns on her.
Never mind, she's in a body bag. The body bag is,
and she's trying to escape.
Yeah, she's trying to get out. I have it. It's not that long, but you can find it if you Google it. It's about 1 minute and 5 seconds, 10 seconds. It's a newscast, and they've got the helicopter flying over, and whoever has the camera notices they're going to be putting the stretcher into the ambulance. So they really zero in and get close, and you see her pop right out of the body bag. Right out, and she had a tank top on. There was no blood. There was no marks on her. There was nothing. Hi, Patsy.
Well, she hit a pole, didn't she? I think is that
a house at 130 miles an hour, and
that would do some damage.
Well, her car was rigged, I think, because there is no way, because they tried to say, I think she had some substance abuse issues in the past. They tried to say she had that in her system post-mortem. But there's no way you would be driving that fast. I don't even know a car that could go that fast. It looked like a blur going down on the security cameras down that road.
Wow.
Mhm.
Yeah. See. So, and what was she working on at the time of her death?
A documentary / movie.
Much like Paul Walker.
Yeah, much like Chester Bennington and Chris Cornell. And I mean, they were working on the same, and they were supposed to, Avicii, who wasn't really big over on this side of the pond, but over anywhere else in the world, he was huge in EDM music. He all of a sudden, I thought he was 27. Now they're listing him as 28. He died under very suspicious circumstances. But all these people supposedly were working on documentaries to reveal what is being done with young children. And I'm trying to be careful with the word, but basically making them travel to other people against their will, we'll say. And all of them are no longer with us.
Funny that. So that is not surprising. I think there's a lot of people who are like, I'm going to put it out there, I'm surprised Mel Gibson's still walking.
So am I. So apparently Chester, and I've tried to see the documentary, all I've seen is the trailer, and the guy that's in the trailer supposedly funds for this too. There's a lot behind him because that money's no longer there. The documentary never got made, but it was called The Silent Children. And then there was a bunch of guitars and beautiful things. Dave Matthews Band, Kiss, big, huge bands that were donating signed beautiful guitars to raffle off to raise money. And there were a whole bunch of music artists were participating in this project to create basically awareness, but also money to support this so it could come out.
Film. Yeah. That's craziness. That is craziness. But you know, you're kind of getting into that machine a little bit. Therefore, we end up with these mixed results. But again, some people swear, no, the Anne's still alive somewhere. So if you think about that, did you fake your death to get out? Did you, it's kind of sad in a way if so many people trying to expose this happening, if somebody really is just trying to run for their life, just trying to get out of it.
We mentioned Tupac, but I downloaded, you guys can find it. It's a video. 10 times people are convinced that Tupac was caught on live video, still alive. So,
I've read that too.
I think it was a safety thing because I told you off air, I can't verify it, but I was listening to a podcast. It was people sending in their stories of anonymously of encountering celebrities. Now they claim that Anne Heche did not die, that they worked at security at this very, very, very elite private hospital, and Anne Heche was trying to escape. Now there were claims of very big names out there that were coming in. There was a lot of programming, we'll say. This person claims they pulled the fire alarm to get her out. Now they don't know what happened to her since, because she supposedly wasn't alive and he ran into her as a security guard. Can't verify it, all alleged, and it could very well be made up. But
see, isn't that interesting when you say that they go to this exclusive place to be programmed, right? And then they come, and screen memories, perhaps.
They said who it was that was there. I was a little surprised. It was a female, previously associated supposedly with Anne Heche, and kind of the power they had. And they got into, it was really interesting, this channel. I'll have to try and remember what it was, but it was people who were either up and coming and invited to elite parties or what. And when they said no thank you or nope, what happened to their careers, which was basically crashed, burned to the ground, and thrown in.
Kind of like the one-hit wonders.
A lot of these people are hiding out. I wasn't looking for it because I'm always listening to something when I'm creating, especially at night. And it started playing. And I'm going, what the heck? And I've mentioned one of my besties, Leanne Clark, and I think I sent it to her too. I go, oh my God, you got to hear this. Like, I don't know if it's true or not, but it's a person that collects stories from people who are willing. They're kept anonymous, but they tell their stories of mixing in this, jumping into this pool, if you will.
All you want to say is, holy shit. What else do you say to that? You just have to kind of go, it is a whole other world. But remember, all the world's a stage. And when you put things into that perspective, you start to look at things differently because you start seeing these little signs. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. And you start to question everything. Yeah, because if you question things, that it's not so cut and dry.
I always say to people, and I know you're an incredible researcher. I know I research all the time. And what I say to people is you can always have a hypothesis about something when you're researching. But I think the sign of a very good researcher is you are willing to have your mind changed by the evidence that you encounter, or it's going to strengthen your hypothesis. But the big point here is do it yourself. Look, research, use different sources, and then, see if it resonates or if it doesn't, but be willing to have your mind changed. You have to be objective going in. And I think when you do, you can't put the lid back on Pandora's box once you open it.
You cannot unsee it.
It's like, how did I not see this before?
I know. You just start looking at what was this person into? What were they going
We
with?
didn't even get to Prince. We didn't get to lots of people to.
Oh my God. We could go on and on. But I like the deeper dive and maybe doing 2 or 3 instead of trying to hit on so many, because so much information gets left behind. But this is, this might be a precursor to a very interesting series.
Yes.
Of shows that come up for this one, because I love doing some of the more uncensored stuff, and the next one will be uncensored and probably hidden.
It's probably going to have to be, but those are the things that people like to talk about, right? And you just can't. And if you're careful, I always say, you know what, you can still talk about them. You just got to learn how to play the game. And people are pretty intelligent. They know what we're talking about, even if we can't say a word or we're kind of dancing around a little bit, right?
Absolutely. There's going to be conspiracies, and unfortunately, there are some that go off in so many different directions. You can chase your own tail, if just spinning around, and you'll get into a bit of a frenzy. So really, cross-reference again, and always know, everybody is innocent until proven guilty, and right, and just look for the things that are hidden in plain sight, because believe me, they have to be.
They always
have to be.
That's the rule.
It's a rule because it's consent, and it's a karmic thing. So we'll leave that food for thought for the next show. So
thank you for having me. This is just so much fun.
It did. It was so much fun, though. It's just like we'll have to maybe put together some little videos. But I'm really excited for the next ones. And for everybody in chat, you guys have been totally awesome. And I always, so appreciative of you guys taking your time out. And we just love you for it. Tomorrow night, guys, on The Outer Realm, first time special guests, screenwriter and author Reinhard Dink, along with E.B. David, who will be talking about their book, The Orb Incident. And it is a true life-changing UFO and extraterrestrial account. Ooh. So this will be really, really interesting. I cannot wait to meet these guys. Thursday, Tobias Whalen returns to talk about his book, Strange Tales of the Impossible, compiled from the Singular Fortean Society's case files. Everything is connected. So come into the show with that in the back of your mind, and it should be a whole lot of fun. So until then, enjoy the rest of your day, evening if you're on the other side of the pond. Big thanks to Lorilei. You've been listening.
Having me.
Oh, pleasure. Always a lot of fun. You've been listening to Beyond the Outer Realm, broadcasting live on United Public Radio Network 105.3 FM on the Gulf Coast, 107.7 FM from New Orleans. Check us out this week, Lorilei, your show.
Oh, my show. Okay, coming up.
Oh, yeah, I got a show too.
Pardon?
Yeah, that's right. I got a show.
So Thursday night, I haven't talked to Kerrilynn because she's got a busy week. She's got family in from out of town. But we have a incredible moon coming up November 5th, and we do try to do something related to the moon. If not, we have super spooky things. We usually book 8 weeks in advance, so it's going to be a good show. And then next Monday on the Angel Rock, I am having Julie Jean Bassett, animal communicator, shamanic practitioner, and you guys love when she comes on. She's usually in the audience, and we're going to have some cool stuff. We ended up talking about animals last night. I did a show on my own, and we could have done the whole show on it.
See, there you go. So I have another shot at it next week, which is fantastic. All right, everybody.
Bye,
we love you all,
and
we'll see you in the coming week for both of our shows.
For sure.
Good night. Goodbye. Good afternoon.
Yeah. Good evening and